So the concept idea is this, that you essentially do exactly the same thing that you did before, but this time what you're doing is seeing if there's any change. So that heat, that tingle, whatever you're feeling between your hands. And then you take a piece of silver paper and you do exactly the same thing. And then you layer the paper with the silver and you do the same thing. Now, what we found and what you found on here and what people will have found if they followed the previous one, and we can always put a link back to some of the early experiments. We've done them all over the place with people, out in fields, in village halls, at talks, at conferences, you name it, that people, the more you layer, the more people seem to sense this increase, shall we say, in either the heat or the tingliness or whatever. We've even been able to use layers to create some very exciting physical effects, which I'm not going to go into on here. But what it shows us is that what we think is going on is that the landscape is behaving a little bit like a capacitor. So what does a capacitor do, Al?
Right.
Every time.
It's a temporary storage of energy, okay? So it's not a battery. But if you think about it, if you have places with lots of layers, especially if it's hollow, you know, like the classic hollow hill, cave, whatever, if you've got the electromagnetic energy flowing through these layers into it, and then you get this big space, right? Or even take Silbury Hill, this big, thick, you know, area in it that the current's flowing round and through. Won't that store stuff? You know, even as a capacitor, not as a battery, so that it remains there, but it flows and it has a place where it gets far more energy, let's call it, especially when you look at places like Silbury Hill that flood.